I am very good, sir. How are you?
I'm a little hungry, but I'm doing good. Just got off work, which is why the office setting behind me. So
I,
Right.
I,
There we
I
go.
like it gives you credibility.
yeah,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live with the WTC Jack of All Trades post show, the fourth episode. The qualifiers are done now, and we have with us two contestants who competed on Jack of All Trades. Of course, last week, Mr. Adam Pearson joining us again. Thank you very much for doing that, Adam. And this week, we had a competitor, Brendan Rutledge, who competed. And guys, I'd like your opinion on the rounds. This week was a little. It was a little different. We brought back the second best in the world because I figured it would be a stronger field, and it was for that round. But everybody seems to fall at the mercy of code breakers, it seems.
man, Codebreakers is it's a good round, but it's an evil round. So I mean, you pretty much have the concept of password, combine it with the party game Taboo. So it makes it a lot tougher because I'm like, you think I'd be able to come up with something good for Sami Zayn? And to be fair, you gave Super a tough one. Ty Conti was a pretty tough one. So, but it's definitely a good one. I mean, despite the fact that I only got like two right, I really enjoyed the video game round because I am a gamer. Not much experience in wrestling video games, funny enough, but the only one I felt any confidence in was WCW NWO Revenge, only because I own that game.
Right.
But the other ones are good. I just about lost it when I saw that graphic on second best in the world. That was just fantastic.
I'm so proud of that graphic.
But overall, I think it was a very fun game. I definitely want to. And the other games I didn't get to play, I definitely want to try those as well.
I'm sure you guys will both have opportunity down the road. Now, Adam, you didn't get to speak about your experience last week, but compared to this week, as well as the rounds you dealt with, what was your opinion on the rounds?
The password is just the thorn in my side, and I suppose it also depends on who you get paired with. Because if I'd have been paired with K-Zone rather than the dude, because at that time me and K-Zone were tied at the top, I reckon I'd have been all right. But that gave him time to really pull away from me. That gave him a lot of time and a lot of breathing room. And it's events like this that just goes to demonstrate what a weird animal quizzing and trivia are, and how multifaceted it is. And rather than knowing a little, rather than knowing a lot about a little, you're better off knowing a little bit about a lot of things. It's more kind of breadth than depth. And I think rounds like second best in the world go to prove that. A lot of people can rattle off the winners, the years, the arenas, and what have you. But no one knows who came second or what match was in the middle of a card here. That's the really niche knowledge that wins you things like Jack of all trades or Quizlemania or fan Quizlemania commiserations. By the way, I don't know if it's too soon to offer you commiserations, but you were close. I was nowhere near. I came 48th. I lost to Ollie today.
Oh man, don't admit that publicly. Yeah, I came third in Fan Quizlemania today, so no fifth championship for me yet. There's always next month. But I do have my 4 displayed proudly right here, with the WTC championship wrapped around them. If I continue to win more, though, I might have to get a bigger filing cabinet because there's not that much room on that thing. But yeah, Fan Quizlemania was a blast tonight, even though I didn't end up victorious. Congratulations to Brett Storm, also contestant on Jack of All Trades, for the win. But we're talking about this show, and next week is the week we determine the very first ever Jack of All Trades champion. Daisy Ruth, who won the very first episode. Andy Datson, who won the second. K-Zone, who won the third. And of course, as you just saw tonight, T-Fame, Travis Fame, is going to be in that match. Now, it's going to be a tough road to hoe for all 4 of them, but I got to ask you, who are your picks to win?
I'm so torn on this one because if K-Zone wins, I lost to the winner. So Pearson logic dictates that means I sort of came second. Now I also adore and love Andy Datson, and Andy's my guy. But then everyone could win it on the day. It goes back to what I said about trivia being a really weird animal, and there are so many factors that come into play here. Not least of which is what you're going to do with your bloody arms at some point in the quiz.
That round's coming back.
No, those are coming back.
Just a little spoiler: that round is coming back for the championship.
Of course. Oh man, it's a really tough call because a part of me wants T-Fame to win.
It's really, I don't mean to interrupt, but it's really if you lose to the best, it's okay because
right,
you lost to the guy who won it all. So yeah,
right. I mean that's part of the reason. But if I had to put my money on someone based on experience, I probably would go with Andy Datson. Should be told. I mean, first ever Quizlemania champion. It just makes sense. But I mean, you never know. Maybe Daisy or K-Zone could pull it out in the end. You never know. But right now, my pick is Andy Datson.
I mean, it's a good pick.
It's a good pick. He's going to be unbearable if he wins. Like absolutely. Like you don't have to see him afterwards. Like I do.
Yeah, I can only imagine. The Wrestle Talk offices, if Andy Datson does in fact become the Jack of all trades champion. As I mentioned in the show, he'll be the first champion crowned on the WTC branded shows since March 10th of 2018, which is when my reign started. And it will continue after this, obviously, but Andy will have a lot of bragging rights because he will be among a select few to hold championships in the WTC. But will Andy do it is the question. K-Zone is a tough competitor. He was in the Stump the Bump contest. Travis Fame, he knows his way around wrestling trivia. He could be a dark horse, but don't sleep on Daisy Ruth. Daisy, I feel like shocked the world in the first episode, beating JB3, Nico, and Big G. So I wouldn't count out Daisy yet. Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't count out Daisy whatsoever. So it's going to be an exciting match. I hope you all can join us for that. And we will see who truly will have the bragging rights. Remember, and I'm not sure if I brought this up during any of the course of the episodes. I know I did when I brought up Jack of all trades when I introduced the concept. But whoever becomes the champion, if they have 5 successful defenses, they can option C their Jack of all trades championship to challenge me for the WTC title. So that is always up for grabs, but it has to be 5 successful back-to-back defenses, which is not easy, especially for a game like this.
I see you, JB3.
Yeah. I want Brandon and Pearson and Jack of all trades. I'll tell you what. That may be the first defense that the champion has. You never know. I have some feelers out there for potential opponents for the winner, and we'll see what happens if anything does. But
is it Sid?
Is it Sid? And that is in lore now in Quizlemania because that 3-word sentence resulted in a title change. So never forget that.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you, James Mansfield, for that. But anyway, next week is the week. So everybody, please, if you're watching this after the fact, or if you've watched any of the episodes thus far, tune in next week's show. Thursday, July 29th at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. It is the championship. Daisy Ruth, Andy Datson, K-Zone, Travis Fame. What a group of people that we have. And yes, the match is already filmed, so I know who won. I'm telling you what, this is probably not a knock to any of the competitors. The 4 of them were incredibly fun to film with. Not that you guys weren't, because you definitely were. But the 4 of them were just cracking me up the entire time. You have to see this episode. So, any last thoughts from either of you on next week's match and the future of Jack of all trades?
Well, I mean, I mean, I definitely can't wait to see next week's match to see who's going to be the first champion. And I definitely would love that first crack at it, or at the very least have another chance to try to go after that championship, or maybe yours, Greg. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll get there. I put it out on the Greg Cherry Show. Also, if somebody submits $100 super chat to me, they can challenge me on a future episode. Like if you want to jump the line, there's your way to do it. But
I got bills to pay.
Yeah, nobody's taking me up on it yet. Not surprisingly. But Mr. Pearson, any last thoughts from you?
I think we should start a Kickstarter or GoFundMe to get that $100.
Hey, it can happen. Just donate it on the Greg Cherry Show. We will make things happen. I'm waiting for.
When disabled people ask for money on Twitter, no matter what it's for, they often get it.
I guess that's the way to do it. So
I'm quite happy to take that silver bullet to get you against whoever, whether it's my good friend here, whether it's the dude Andrew Hayes, or it should just be complete lols.
Yes. All right, there you have it. Thank you very much, Adam Pearson, Brandon Rutledge, for joining us on the post show, guys. Next week it's happening. And then we're going to go to once a month shows after this, because doing weekly shows is a pain in the ass. But we're going to once a month, just like Quizlemania is. So if you don't have your Quizlemania fixed by them going once a month, join us, because we're running on a separate day. So it's completely fine. You can join us as well. So again, thank you, Adam Pearson. Thank you, Brandon Rutledge. We will see you all next week for the championship. Who's going to win it? Tune in to find out. We'll see you guys next week.